Today's testimony is about divine appointments. And I'm going to share one of my divine appointments. And it's funny because it happened through a late night craving, as crazy as that might sound. So me and my older brother Chris, we decided to go to a McDonald's late at night. Like, it was pretty late. I don't know if it somewhere between 11 or 1 in the morning or something. I don't remember exactly when. But through this trip to McDonald's, we encountered like two brothers and a father who were spirit-filled men of God. And they were going through a time where they would just pray and eat and have fellowship, and then whoever came through the door, if the Lord led them to speak and share with them, they would do that. And it was kind of like a ministry thing for them. They would do on a weekly basis. And I had no idea who these guys were. My brother had met them once in the past, and so they started talking to him, and their names were Benjamin and Elijah. Awesome, great men of God. Love them to this day. And Benjamin looked at me and was talking to me, and he asked me if I was filled with the Spirit. And at the time, I had no idea what that even meant. And I had read about it and kind of heard mentions of the Holy Spirit and being filled, but I didn't really know what that was. I'm not sure if my church didn't preach on it or I just didn't pay enough attention. But spiritual things are really learned through the Spirit. Anyways, and I said, "I'm trying to be," was my response to him when he said, "Are you filled with the Holy Spirit?" He said, "You filled with the Holy Spirit?" And I said, "I'm trying to be." And he looked at me and he said, "I think you already are. Do me a favor, and when you go home tonight, I want you to pray to God, ask Him to reveal when you received the Holy Spirit." And he began to speak to me about the Holy Spirit and explaining like tongues and how there's two kinds of tongues. There's like your prayer language tongues, you speaking directly to God, your spirit speaking directly to God the Spirit, God who is a spirit. And there's a like prophetic type of tongues which must have an interpretation, which is like a word for the church to encourage, lift up, and build the church. So I prayed about it. I did what he said, and that when I prayed about it, God revealed to me a time when I was at church, and there was this evangelist lady. I don't remember what her name was, but I just remember that I was laughing uncontrollably, and I now know that that's the joy of the Lord. And at the time, I just had no clue what it was. It was beyond my head. So I just was rolling on the floor laughing that night as a young teenager, and I remember that evangelist was leading me to ask the Lord to fill me with the baptism of the Holy Spirit, with the evidence of speaking in tongues. And I remember her coaching me with that, praying with me, and all that came out at the time was like da 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 da. It was not like kind of a full syllable that I had heard from time to time. It was more like a fraction. And so the devil had convinced me that I missed it, that I didn't actually receive. And he explained to me that there's utterances of tongues, and when I realized that I had already been filled with the Holy Spirit, it just clicked, and I began to just pray in faith, and the prayer language, the tongues, just came out naturally, so I can just pray in tongues on and off whenever I want, and speak directly in a heavenly language to my God, my Father. And it's a powerful thing because you're speaking the perfect will of God. It goes beyond your head. It's your spirit to His spirit, and He's leading you in what to pray when you don't know what to pray. It's a powerful tool for the believers, is speaking in tongues and the baptism of the Holy Spirit, because He leads you by His Spirit and will give you His thoughts and His emotions and His understanding on people, and use you in miraculous ways. And I had realized that I had him all along, and I didn't really know that I had the Holy Spirit all along. And because of him speaking to me and encouraging me, I now had this new revelation, and I now had this understanding of the Spirit in a better way. And through praying and through the leading of the Spirit, God led me to a Bible college, which shaped my whole future of where I've met my wife, and now I have children, and have had many miraculous and amazing things happen because of that. But I do remember I'm very thankful for Benjamin, Elijah, and their dad for taking the time to encourage me and my brother and speaking into us. We would continue to go back that same day of the week at around the same time to hopefully catch them or meet them, and we had a lot of good times of just learning, sharing, worshiping the Lord in a McDonald's late at night, and it was just a really cool thing. And I just want to share that God will lead you. He'll give you divine appointments. He'll have the people there, and his ways are higher than your ways. His thoughts are higher than your thoughts. And if you just begin to trust him and walk in faith, your life will not be boring. It'll be an adventure. It'll be exciting. And well, God bless you, and pray this encourages you, and you have a wonderful rest of your day.